What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Full Send SRT. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today, I'm going to be going over why you might not want to buy the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Now, there are some solid pros, but there's also some big cons to having the Trackhawk. So today, I'm going to go over those pros and cons. Now, guys, this vehicle is anywhere from $100,000 to $130,000 here in Canada, or anywhere from 85 to 100 grand in the United States, guys. And you might just want to settle for the SRT. Now, this is going to depend upon how big of a Mopar fan you are, how much you can afford, and what you're really looking for in a SUV. So guys, if you're new to the channel, new to Full Send SRT, here on the channel we cover everything Mopar, everything muscle car. I got my 2018 Grand Cherokee Trackhawk here. I have two 2021 Grand Cherokee 80th anniversary editions, and I am building the world's first 1966 Chevy C10 ZR1. So if you're into that, into muscle cars, consider hitting that subscribe button, like squad, and let's get right into why you might not want to buy the Trackhawk. Now guys, first off, the Trackhawk, like I said, is around that $100,000 price point, and you might be better off just buying an SRT depending on what you're really looking for. Now obviously the main difference between the SRT and the Trackhawk is going to be that the Trackhawk has the 707 horsepower Hellcat engine, as opposed to the SRT having the 6.4 liter naturally aspirated V8. Now this one obviously has 707 horsepower and the SRT has 475, but they almost look completely identical. Now I could have painted my calipers yellow and changed my front bumper and you would never know that this was a Trackhawk. Because of course on the Trackhawk we have the yellow Brembo brakes that are slightly bigger than the SRTs, and we obviously do not have the front fog light on the Trackhawk. Now the front bezels are also a different color as opposed to the SRT, but no one really notices that. So guys, if you don't really care about having the extra, 200 horsepower and you wouldn't use it day to day, I do not recommend the Trackhawk. But guys, if you drag race or you legally street race, I do recommend the Trackhawk if you're into that sort of thing. If you're just going to be using it as a daily driver, going back and forth to work, the Trackhawk might be a little bit of a waste of money. As we take a look at the back of the Trackhawk, this is where the biggest difference is going to be between the SRT and the Trackhawk. We got those quad exhaust tips, and it sounds pretty good as well. So the Trackhawk is going to be a little bit louder, and once you throw an exhaust on there, it's going to sound so good. But guys, you're going to have to justify the price difference from the SRT to the Trackhawk, which is around $30,000. As we take a look at the Trackhawk here, the lights are the same, the hood is the same, the doors are the same, the mirrors are the same. But guys, if we take a look into the interior of the Trackhawk, you'll notice that I do have the upgraded Laguna leather package, which is about $8,000 or $9,000 Canadian. But if we just take a look at the basics of the interior, the steering wheel is almost the exact same as opposed to the SRT. The SRT just says SRT right here, but the screen is the same, the carbon fiber is the same, the materials are all plastic in here. It's going to be the same as the SRT. So that's why I say if you're using this vehicle as a daily driver, it might not be the best choice because you might just be throwing money away. These push stop start buttons the same, and you can also get the Laguna leather package in the SRT as well. Honestly guys, this might be the absolute worst choice of vehicle if you want to show off how much money you have, how much you spent on your vehicle, because the average person just thinks this Trackhawk is a regular Grand Cherokee. But if you know, you know. Now guys, I owned the 2018 Grand Cherokee SRT, and it almost is the exact same vehicle if you're not driving it. Once you're driving the vehicle, you can definitely tell the difference. But if you're just wanting to show off the looks of the vehicle, there's not much to show off. I mean, my SRT had a panoramic sunroof. My SRT seats were Alcantara with the leather, so they're pretty much the exact same. The steering wheel was the same. The center console's the same, the gear lever's the same, the materials are the same, the carbon fiber's the same, the dash is the same, the windows are the same, the body's the same, the exterior's the same, the diffuser's the same, the trunk's the same, the doors are the same, the mirrors are the same, the splitter's the same, the hood is the same. Literally the only thing that's not the same is gonna be the Hellcat engine. Let's go take a look. So guys, this is exactly what you're paying the extra $30,000 for. This engine, I think, from the crate is about 25 to 30 grand, which does justify the price of this vehicle being obviously 30,000 more because the engine is 30 grand. Now guys, there is also some other performance parts on this vehicle that are under the body that you'll never see, which you don't really recognize when you're driving. That's going to be like upgraded suspension, upgraded brakes, and whatnot. Like, I won't lie, you can notice a difference from vehicle to vehicle when you are driving. This one feels a little bit more exotic and a little bit harder to drive, but in general, it's just a Grand Cherokee, so it's fairly fairly easy to handle. But guys, I've actually broken all 4 tires loose before on a launch. That was pretty scary, which you would never experience in the SRT. Guys, overall, if you're just looking for a great daily driver that's still a muscle vehicle in a way and still has that all-wheel drive and has the exact same features as the Trackhawk, honestly, go for the SRT. But if you are into Hellcats and you can afford it and it's not going to break the bank, guys, go for the Trackhawk. I honestly love the Trackhawk far more over the SRT because I am such a big car guy, and this makes me feel like I'm driving something completely exotic. And honestly, for the price when it comes to SUVs and whatnot, it's really hard to beat the Trackhawk and the $100,000 price point, because when you think of vehicles for $100,000, you know, what else is there really out there that can be a good daily driver, still have 5 seats, can still throw a roof rack on the top, can tow a trailer, and also has 700 horsepower. Your best bet when it comes to a vehicle this fast and this capable is either going to be a brand new Range Rover SVR, Lamborghini Urus, not quite the Bentayga, maybe X6M competition. But then again, guys, you're going to be spending 10 times more on maintenance, and those vehicles are still upwards of $160,000 to $300,000. So guys, if your price range is around 100 grand and you absolutely love this vehicle and you would do anything to drive it, this is the one to have, guys. If your budget is, you know, kind of on that $70,000, $75,000, $80,000 price point, I'd recommend a WK2 facelift SRT. That is the 2017s and above. The 2018 models, in my opinion, are the best models you can get. The only difference from 2018 to 2019 is going to be the bezel of the screen is going to be piano black, as opposed to this, you know, satin black plastic, and it's going to be flush with the screen. But honestly, in my opinion and my experience, the piano black just gets dirtier quicker. Guys, do not buy the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. If you're kind of on the fence about it, you got to absolutely know that you love this vehicle before buying it. Guys, before I got mine, I never even test drove it. I just knew this is the one. But it's all personal preference, guys. If you're into vehicles and you want that big supercharger, you want the Hellcat, 100% go for the Trackhawk. If not, the SRT is going to be your next best bet. Honestly, it's kind of nice driving the SRT over the Trackhawk too, because you don't feel like you have to race everyone. I mean, I don't feel like I have to race everyone else. You just get a lot of those people, you know, in their tuned Civics trying to pull up the lights on you. But, you know, so be it. I have fun in the Trackhawk. At the end of the day, it's really what makes you happy and what you enjoy. The Trackhawk is worse on fuel as opposed to the SRT as well, so take that into consideration. That might be because it has 220 horsepower more, or because it just sounds so good you always want to be on the throttle. Now guys, if you want to feel like you are driving a race car, the Trackhawk is the one to get, honestly. You know, the SRT drives very well, but you don't quite get those crackles and pops in the SRT no matter what you do to the vehicle. I think this stock exhaust is even different from the Trackhawk to the SRT. Like, those crackles and pops are ridiculous. I never got them in the SRT model, but this Trackhawk makes you feel like you are driving something very special. Even the downshifts are so much more crisp. When you let off it, guys, the miles per gallon definitely makes up for the miles per gallon. Like, as soon as you let off the throttle, you just get all those backfires and crackles and pops. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if I could somehow make this Trackhawk shoot flames. And what's also nice is this isn't my daily driver. I do have, like I said, the Grand Cherokee 80th Anniversary Editions. So, you know, those are a little bit better on gas because it does have the 3.6 liter Pentastar V8, as opposed... I never get tired of those crackles. Like, they're just going off. Why is there so many? Like, this vehicle is so much fun. But like I said, guys, if you're kind of on the edge debating the SRT or the Trackhawk, just go for the SRT if you're gonna debate. You know, dated. Oh man, I love this exhaust. Day to day, you're not going to notice that big of a difference if you're just driving back and forth to work. It's not worth putting, you know, that many kilometers on the Trackhawk, because in a way, this is kind of like a collector vehicle, you know. They're not making any more of these. Okay, or maybe you do need a Trackhawk, guys. Maybe just go for the Trackhawk. I noticed that a lot of, like, not to be rude or anything, but a lot of people driving the SRTs are going to be, you know, soccer moms or people just commuting A to B who just want some extra power. And guys, the SRT is perfect for that. But if you are a Mopar guy, you love these vehicles and you can afford it, I honestly fully recommend the Trackhawk. But guys, if you enjoyed today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. We got tons of more Trackhawk coming soon. I'm going to be drag racing it at the drag strip against, you know, a couple different vehicles soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Like Squad, and we'll see you in the next one. Full send SRT signing off. Peace.